Howdy! We are coming to you from the foot of the Ice Lakes Basin, and we are going to be heading on over to Island Lake for this adventure, and that is kind of to set up for Ulysses Grant Peak. We are leaving Ice Lake proper right now, so heading on over to Island Lake. We'll give you a look at that on the map. And Ulysses Grant is a beautiful peak, and it is class 4, so it'll be a little more exciting, but I don't think it'll be too tough. I heard the Crooks is fairly isolated, so not really too concerned about that. I just think it'll be splendid though. Island Lake is beautiful and we'll have great views of that. Although Ice Lake Basin is beautiful too. If you want to see the video where I just climbed a few of these peaks here, namely Golden Horn and Vermilion Peak. So I'm kind of doing a double header on this trip and knocking out 3 or maybe 4 peaks. We'll see. That did take a little out of me though, so maybe 3. And weather's supposed to be coming in tomorrow, so trying to get an early start. But anyway, we'll be setting up camp shortly at Island Lake and we'll get all ready for tomorrow's adventure. We'll see you up there. Look at that. Holy moly. Unbelievable. Hummingbird moth right there. There's one of the approach trails there. I mean, beautiful basin with camping right in the middle by that lake. And then that's the road and access from Silverton, basically. And then right around the corner here is Island Lake. Beautiful sunset too. Hey, good morning. Here we are at Island Lake, getting a little bit of a late start. It actually was barely freezing here last night. And it was beautiful for a while until this cloud base kind of rolled in. So I am a little apprehensive about climbing Ulysses Grant. I'm gonna go ahead and start though and just see how it turns out. But either way, I had a beautiful time here visiting the lake and hanging out with Emmy. So yeah, she was a buddy just looking for a campsite, so I invited her to hang out with me and it was great. Hopefully the weather holds and we get ourselves up there and have a little class 4 adventure. And if not, no regrets. There's nothing wrong with visiting this area. Whether you're gonna do a peak or not, I highly recommend visiting. So we'll see you up on the peak. Who knows how far we'll get. All right, fork in the road, kind of pivotal. You can turn off this way or onto Ulysses. So up we go. Getting a little steep and loose now. All right, well, we had one really loose third class short scramble with some exposure getting up here. Other than that, it's been really nice. And still loose though. And this is gonna be a loose climb besides for the class 4 and the descent. I know that's good. But we're making great time. This really isn't that far from Island Lake, which is right there. So, and mostly a pretty beaten path. A little bit exposed, not bad though. Not enough to really get scary. And now I think we're getting to some really predominant notches in the mountain. But boy, I gotta say, it has been beautiful. With this new altitude, now we can see Fuller Lake over there. And a new perspective on Island Lake as well. But the notches look like this. So, new adventure coming up. I think that's got our name all over it. Well, I am about 2/3 of the way up this loose class 3, and it is easy climbing. So as long as you just gingerly sneak your way up, should be all right. It's just a bunch of big blocks kind of cemented together, and you don't want to be pulling them out. You just kind of want to push down on them. All right, well, the main cut in the face is directly below us in line with the island. And you pass this first one, that was the scary loose class 3 climb up, cruise along this ledge, and then when you get to the other side of the Y, or climbers right as you're coming up this, just pop right up this gully. So the left leg of the Y when you're facing the mountain is the way to the summit ridge. Always a good sign there. Wow. All right, we have topped out the little gully. And unbelievable. And then seeing this notch is really cool too. So that was kind of a highlight right there. And then finally we just got our secret passage. Upsy daisies. Oh, sweet. Looking good. Pushing the summit now. So Carl Deck would like to present Ulysses Grant Peak. It is beautiful. Let's just make our way up here, like so. I'll show you everything. Yes. And over my shoulder is the Wilsons. That's the way we'll go down. V2. That bright, close summit, Fuller Lake, and then Ice Lake's actually totally hidden by the ridge. in Island. Beautiful surf back here. I'm not sure what it's called. Amazing red mountains. And then down below is pretty neat too, with that blue lake. And then a little on the creepier side, I am up here because I wanted to get this climb done and experience this before all that smoke builds in. And that's what you're seeing now. So a little scary there, but the foreground is awesome. Wilson group here. And then panning back, we've got Pilot Knob coming into frame. And then Golden Horn. And kind of in the background is Vermilion Peak, which were great climbs that we did yesterday. Kind of the bigger picture, Fuller Lake on the left and Fuller Peak right above and behind it there. Not as exciting, still beautiful scene from the top though. And then we come back here and back to Island. All good stuff. But we'll head off right here, make our way down this ridge. We got her all packed up, enjoy one last beautiful view, and then it's time for another leg of the adventure. And this down climb should be fairly exciting. That's straight out the ridge here. Here goes. Somewhere down there, I guess. Cute little cairn there after a exposed yet easy ledge traverse. And then here's the down climb right there. A little harder here. Pretty decent rock though. There we go. Alrighty then. That was the crux of it right there. And it is class 4. Pretty solid rock though, but in this kind of environment, I would never trust the rock completely, ever. Always have 3 points of contact for it, or have tested it thoroughly. So awesome. So now I think it's basically just a cruise. And as you can see behind me, lots of cairns. And I bet a really beaten path. So down we go. Time to wrap this one up, and it's a good time to wrap it up. I can actually smell smoke, and it's not close. There's not a fire right near here, but it is very clear looking out behind me and around the Wilson group that smoke is coming. So boy, as sad as that is, and it is, I am not sure there'll ever be an end to this. That said, I'm also very grateful because I got to really enjoy this, and maybe one of the last windows of the summer. It is the end of July, beginning of August right now. I think it's actually August 2nd. So that's my story. This is a pretty short hike. you can definitely do it in 3 hours if you're proficient. It's also a good place to kind of try to figure out if you can really handle loose class 3 San Juan type climbing. So just because it's just not that far. There's not that much commitment. You can always turn around either way. The route finding is a little tricky. So again, if you're thinking you're just getting better and better at this and you want to try something a little more and you have experience, this might be a great one to kind of test the water on a beautiful peak in a beautiful place that's not ginormous, where a mistake could really be costly. But there are objective dangers with all the loose. So I'm gonna skate down this right now to Island Lake, break camp, and head on home. Thanks for joining me. Hopefully you enjoyed the trip. We'll see you on the next one. Blissful descent.
Oh, it feels great. Awesome. It's cold, but it's not too bad.